Day 7. This 10-year-old girl is still living completely alone. Today she's facing her biggest challenge yet. And she's not crying. She chooses to stand up and fight. Morning begins quietly. From the bamboo hut beside the water, the young woman steps out with a small basket and the calm rhythm of someone used to living close to nature. From the opening frames, the video sets its direction clearly. This will be a day of gathering ingredients and returning home to cook. She moves slowly along the water's edge, studying patches of grass, soft mud, and the shallows. The way she pauses and bends down suggests that this work depends less on luck and more on reading the small signs the environment quietly reveals. Once she finds the right spot, she starts collecting with patience, one careful movement at a time. The pace stays slow, but it never feels empty because the viewer senses that whatever she is selecting here will matter later at the meal. Quick science note. Shallow edges usually hold more organic matter and tiny organisms than deeper water, which is why shoreline zones often reveal the richest signs of natural food. After the first round of foraging, she carries what she found back. Returning home at this point gives the story a firmer anchor. Every movement in the landscape is now clearly leading toward a meal that will be cooked back at her shelter. She begins rinsing, checking, and arranging what she has brought back. It is a quiet stretch, but an important one, because it bridges gathering and cooking without letting the story lose momentum. The story opens toward a small road leading to a nearby settlement. That change of setting keeps the video from feeling visually flat, and it also reflects a very ordinary truth: food, gathered from nature, sometimes still needs to be completed with what is bought outside.
Bằng đấy là 30.000 thì mà 6 năm 30 mà còn 50.000 à.
At the small market stop, she pauses, chooses carefully, and makes a brief exchange for what is still needed. The section is short, yet it makes the final meal feel more believable, because the viewer understands that dinner at the hut comes from both effort and practical preparation.
Bác xin nhá. Okay.
On the way back, the rhythm softens again. She is no longer searching. Now she is carrying a clear purpose with her to return to the bamboo hut, light the fire, and turn what she gathered into a complete meal. Back at the shelter, she lays out the ingredients on the bamboo floor, prepares firewood, and checks the clay stove. The gestures feel practiced, as though this space has been used many times before, and each object already belongs exactly where it is. The fire is lit slowly. Against the green bamboo and damp ground, the heat from the stove becomes the center of the story. From here on, the video fully enters its reward phase, cooking, waiting, and finally enjoying what the day has prepared. Smoke, flame, and the repeated motions of turning, stirring, and setting the pot make this part of the film deeply satisfying. Nothing happens too quickly, and that slowness allows the viewer to feel each stage of the meal taking shape. She checks the food again and again, adjusts the fire, and waits for the right moment to finish. This is where the video shows its patience. Most clearly, the result does not come from a rushed cut, but from staying long enough for everything to cook properly. When the food is finally served, the bamboo hut changes immediately. It is no longer just the background for work. It becomes a place that holds warmth, aroma, and the feeling of rest after a day of constant movement. The meal unfolds quietly and without display, yet that is exactly what makes it such a strong ending. The viewer is not only shown a finished dish, but also a shelter that has genuinely become a temporary home in the landscape. The closing shots linger a little longer on the hut, the clay stove, and the water nearby. After everything that has happened, the place no longer feels like a pretty backdrop, but like a lived-in space with its own rhythm, one where work, food, and rest connect naturally. That was day 7 of this little girl living all by herself. She's still got 93 more days to go. You want to know how she's going to make it through the next 93 days? If you're rooting for her, smash that like button. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss day 8. Drop a comment saying day 8 down below if you want to see what happens next.